we interrupt the scheduled viewing of the History of Wine Part 2 for this important announcement. News of my demise has been greatly exaggerated. Today we are reviewing wine once more. We are drinking again, and we are drinking canned wine, which is not ideal, but hey, we're back, baby. You know this boogie is for real.
I used to put my faith in music, but then we had the GFC. So I put my faith in marriage now. It gave me PTSD, yeah. So I met another woman. She told me to chase out my dreams. After careful consideration, baby, I realized just one thing, yeah.
Drinks.
So I pretend to know about wine.
Drinks.
Hey, I got 2 kids under 5.
Drinks.
Got canned wine in my hands tonight, baby. Ooh, oh, oh.
Drinks.
Hey, nothing to look forward to.
Drinks.
More lockdowns and work zooms.
Drinks.
Got canned wine in my hands tonight, baby. Ooh, oh, oh, oh.
Drinks.
I rarely leave the house these days.
Drinks.
And when I scan in somewhere, it opens up Pornhub.
Let us begin this fucking shit show. US wineries first started packaging their wine in cans from 1936, the year after beer was first put in a can. However, all primary attempts of packaging wine in cans failed because it was just shit. And in an attempt to drive down their costs, wineries all over the world persisted in trying to get their juice in cans from 36 to the 90s. And for the best part of 60 years, they spectacularly failed. The reasons for the failure is that the aggressive elements that are within wine just don't mix very well with the lining of aluminium cans. In 1996, a winery from Australia solved the problem. And who, I hear you say, were these Aussie legends? Well, they were Baroque's Winery. Baroque's founders Steve Barracks and Greg Stokes commenced 5 years of intensive research and development. By the early 2000s, Baroque solved the problem of wine in a can and patented the product in the process for packaging wine in aluminium cans. Baroque's process is known as VinSafe, and it's globally patented, so they've made mad cheddar. So those aggressive elements that made it an absolute nightmare to have wine in a can 60 years prior have all now been resolved, and wine theoretically should taste great from a can thanks to the VinSafe process. So why is it only now that after 22 years of having a process that works are we only just starting to see more and more of these cans appear in shops? The innovation adoption life cycle looks like this. It begins with innovators and it ends with laggards. To cut a long story short, innovators are the people who queue for new Apple products, and laggards are the ones who still got Blackberries. Innovators are always the bravest, and in the world of wine, you've got to be pretty brave to sort of back yourself when it comes to things like cans. We've spoken previously about the hate that screw cap bottles get versus cork, and I guess once you've gone to screw cap bottles, you're only really a hop, skip and a jump away from having wine in cans. Going back to that bell curve of innovation, I guess that wineries have been really, really enthused and feel safe to go in the water based upon the work that craft breweries have done. A lot of craft beers now come from cans because it's cheap, right? And it's also environmentally friendly, so big up. I will freely admit that I'm a little bit sceptical of red wine. I don't know how that will taste from a can. My other sort of fears of drinking wine from a can it's just that, like, I've never drunk wine from a bottle. Well, I probably have actually, to be fair, I 100% have. So let's have a go. I've gone with 3 different types of varietals. We've gone for a lightly sparkling rosé, my favourite sparkling Prosecco, and a Pinot Grigio. So enough yakking and more cracking. Oh, right, okay, cool. So 2 are lightly spritzed and 1 is Prosecco. So I guess that's the way, right? Squealing Pig, spritz Pinot Grigio, lightly spritz Pinot Grigio with aromas of Nashi pear, apple, crisp finish. It's convenient and it can be enjoyed straight from a can. I think the artwork and the packaging is lovely. I'm actually going to drink from the can and the glass, because that way I can justify drinking lots of wine. I'm not too sure anyone's going to be drinking canned wine from a glass though. You're probably going to be at a festival or out and about and just necking it. So yeah, let's see. Doesn't really go anywhere. Pretty basic. I wonder what it's like from the glass. It has that sort of iconic Pinot Grigio colour. I guess you're getting a little bit of those apples through that you normally would expect with a Pinot Grigio. It's alright. Doesn't really go anywhere or do anything. It's very instantaneous. The acid is a little bit off balance, but yeah, I'm sure that plenty of people will enjoy this. That makes me sound like a fucking snob. Yeah, okay. Tread Softly Prosecco from Australia, yes. We know that it's from a continent. Always question lack of details on wine. Anyway, family owned, sustainably grown, minimal preservatives, delicate aromas. Also obviously directed at women. Ah, the infamous pop of a can. I think I drank far too much of the Squealing Pig one, so I'm only going to do a little bit here. Okay, cool. So from a can, Tread Softly Prosecco from Australia. Yes. Yes, beautiful. Tastes a bit strange. Straight from the glass. It's a bit watery. To say. Yeah, sorry to all the chaps from Tread Softly. I hate to see any family-owned business fail, but that's no good, I'm afraid. I'd go so far to say it's probably the worst thing I've drunk in a long time. There's an aftertaste of cabbage. Look, I really don't want to kick a man when he's down, but that's fucking dog shit. Right, so we need to wash the taste of that foul stench out, and we're going to go for La Planchilleri Rosé, lightly spritzed. From Pierre Brevin. We've got some detail on the back of this one. A delicate, lightly spritzed French-style rosé with the notes of strawberries, raspberries, and a crisp, refreshing finish. Ready to be enjoyed straight from the can. But this is a big seller. There is a marketing term that to sell to women you have to pink it and shrink it. They are nailing the brief of that. Right, let's go. Okay, that was up there with my mum's funeral, so I'm not doing that again, but I will try it from a glass. I guess my first point of contention is that for a rosé, generally it should be pink, but hey, I don't want to stand in the way of tradition. Oh my fucking God. Tread Softly, I take it back. There is a new fucking sheriff in town, and it's La Planchilleri lightly spritz rosé. Fucking taste like licking sweat off a dead man's balls. That is by far and away the worst thing I've ever drank, and the residual sugar as well. Oh. So in conclusion, I think that the Squealing Pig Spritz Pinot Grigio was the better of the three. I don't really know, like, that's a little bit like being the world's tallest midget, but I have to wash all that sugar away with a lovely glass of Sangiovese. If you're new to the channel and this is the first video you've seen, I can assure you, go back and watch the other videos. I am the opposite of a wine snob, but if that's what is happening out there in canned wine, I'm not on board yet. Sorry. Pretty shit. Like, maybe wine shouldn't be in a can? I don't want to be the guy to say that because I hate that whole sort of Luddite, snobbish wine mentality. But like, you know, you don't eat KFC with a knife and fork, do you? Ooh, political.
You know canned wine is fucking shit. I hate it every second of it, yeah. I really regret making this episode. Woo!